Welcome back to Ronnie, I'm Joe B. Today I'll show you what really happens during a left total hip replacement surgery. Let's dive in. For a patient with a long-standing hip osteoarthritis, as confirmed by X-rays or MRI, a left total hip arthroplasty with an anterior approach is necessary. The patient was brought to the operating room and placed in a supine position after induction of general anesthesia. Appropriate positioning and draping was performed using sterile techniques. The left hip was identified prior to skin incision. Then a longitudinal skin incision was made and extended appropriately. The tensor fascia lata and sartorius muscles were identified, and the interval between the two muscles was used to access the hip joint. The ascending branch of the lateral femoral circumflex artery and associated veins deep within the interval were clamped or coagulated. The femoral neck cut was made and the femoral head was removed. The labrum was also excised circumferentially, as well as any overhanging osteophytes. A good rim fit was achieved with a trial of a size 56 acetabular cup. The final size 56 acetabular cup was impacted with fluoroscopic verification of position with excellent abduction and anteversion. Confirmation was made of no excessive acetabular cup exposure. Then the final liner was impacted and seating confirmed. Anterior or posterior instability were checked. The canal for the femoral stem component was open to a size 8. Then, the final 36 millimeter femoral stem was impacted to the level of the neck cut. Furthermore, a 1.5 femoral head ball component was impacted and reduced. Intraoperative radiographs are taken to confirm implant position, leg length, and offset. Copious irrigation was performed with antibiotic solution and local anesthesia was provided. The wound is then closed in layers in routine fashion and closed with skin glue and sterile dressing. So do you want to know what happens during a right carpal tunnel release surgery? If so, then watch this next video. Thank you so much.